The NFL draft is a very fun time for NFL franchises and fan bases because that is the time of the year where they add new young talent to their team. But there often are times where NFL franchises swing and miss on their first round draft pick. In today's video, we're going to go over the top 10 NFL busts in NFL history. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure you guys go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when we upload new content to the channel. Let's get straight into today's video. So coming in at number 10, we have Steve Antman, a defensive end from Washington. In 1992, the Indianapolis Colts had the first overall draft pick, and they decided to draft Steve. And to say the least, he never really panned out. I mean, at least he has a 90-yard interception return for a touchdown on his resume, but other than that, he never amounted to anything. Injuries really destroyed his career, and after 3 years where he only racked up 5 sacks, the Indianapolis Colts saw enough and they decided to release him, and that ultimately made him a bust. Coming in at number 9, we have probably the most famous person on this list, the person that has the most notoriety, and that is quarterback Johnny Manziel from Texas A&M. Money Manziel, as he's liked to been called before at times. In 2014, the Cleveland Browns drafted him with a 22 overall pick, and the Browns really thought this guy could have been their franchise quarterback, like I'm pretty sure they thought 1,000 other quarterbacks would have been, but they never really panned out like Manziel. Manziel had a lot of off the field issues, and that is a red flag that the Browns ignored coming out of college because he had a partying issue in college, but the Browns still elected to go with him because the on-field talent was too good to pass up on. But Manziel really never panned out in the NFL, and those same traits carried over into the NFL. The off-the-field issues never really seemed like he had a love for the game of football, and again, he flamed out and he was a bust, just like Jamarcus Russell and Ryan Leaf. Coming in at number 8, we have Lawrence Phillips, running back from Nebraska. In 1996, the St. Louis Rams held the number 6 overall pick, and they selected Phillips. Some consider Phillips the best running back in the 1996 class, considering what he had done in college on the field, but his actions off the field is what ruined his NFL career. The Rams cut Phillips during the 1997 season, in part because the number of days he had spent in jail, 23 to be exact, was more than the number of starts he had for the team, 20. Trouble followed Phillips after his NFL career. He tragically died in prison after he hung himself in January 2016. So that's a very sad situation that a guy like Lawrence Phillips was promising and had so much talent, but unfortunately the off-the-field issues was too much for this guy and he tragically took his own life. Rest in peace. And now let's move on to number 7. Coming in at number 7, we have Brian Bosworth, the linebacker from Oklahoma. In 1987, the Seattle Seahawks took him in the first round. The Seahawks probably could have predicted Bosworth in the NFL, would have been known more for his off-the-field antics than his on-the-field performance. He was decent on the field, don't get me wrong, save for the infamous Bo Jackson encounter, until a bad shoulder forced him into retirement during his 3rd NFL season. Bosworth just started 24 games for Seattle. So again, this guy was a bust, but he was pretty solid on the field, and if it wasn't for a terrible shoulder injury making him retire just 3 years into his young NFL career, who knows what this guy could have panned out to be. Coming in at number 6, we have Charles Rogers, a wide receiver from Michigan State. In 2003, the Detroit Lions took Rogers with the number 2 overall pick, and 2 monster seasons at Michigan State made Rogers seems like the money pick for the Lions at the time. Then his rookie season was derailed by injuries. Then in 2005, a violation of the NFL drug policy got him suspended. When the Lions dumped Rogers in 2006, nobody else wanted him. The former college star managed just 36 catches and 4 touchdowns during his 3 years in Detroit. Sadly, Rogers also died way too young at only 38 in 2019 after being diagnosed with cancer. Coming in at number 5, and this may be a little bit of a controversial one right here, but I'm going to put Robert Griffin III. RG3 was a bust, and it's unfortunate because I'm a Washington Commanders fan myself, and I I thought this guy was going to be the franchise quarterback for us, man. After that 2012 season, which was spectacular, I really thought we were on the ups. But then injuries happened for RG3, the off-the-field issues with RG3, the disagreement with the coaching staff with Mike Shanahan, and everything that happened derailed this man's career, and he went on to be a backup for the Ravens and the Browns, but his career really never panned out how it should have been, and that was due to him and also the way the Washington Redskins handled his injuries and his whole situation. Coming in at number 4, we have Keejan Carter, running back from Penn State. 1995 NFL Draft, the Bengals had the number 1 overall draft pick, and they decided to select Carter. Carter's pair of 1,000-yard rushing season in college, including a 23 touchdown year in 94, led the Bengals to trade up in order to draft him at number 1 and gave the back a massive contract. His rookie season was erased by a preseason knee injury, and more injuries hampered him for the rest of his NFL career. He ended up starting just 14 games in 5 years for the Bengals. Coming in at number 3, we have Akil Smith, quarterback from Oregon. 1999 NFL Draft. The number 3 overall pick belonged to the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals drafted Smith at number 3. Despite his lack of college production and Smith missing rookie training camp due to his contract dispute, certainly didn't help him. He ended up starting just 17 games in 4 years, 3-14 record of 5-13 touchdown to interception ratio with the Bengals, the only NFL team which he played for. So that guy is right up there with the next 2 names that we're about to talk about, the infamous Ryan Leaf and Jamarcus Russell. Coming in at number 2, you guessed it, Ryan Leaf, quarterback from Washington State. In 1998, the San Diego Chargers had the number 2 overall pick, and they decided to take Ryan Leaf. Many considered Leaf the biggest NFL draft bust from all time, primarily due to the fact that he was debated alongside Peyton Manning at the top of the 98 class, while poor off-the-field behavior and injuries contributed to Leaf's NFL flameout. His horrendous play, 13-33 touchdown to the interception ratio, a 48.8 rating, and a record of 4-14-18 starts for the Chargers would have been enough. San Diego dumped him as soon as the 2000 season ended. And now for number 1, you all guessed it, Jamarcus Russell, quarterback from LSU. In 2007, Oakland Raiders had the number 1 overall pick, and they decided to take quarterback Jamarcus Russell. Russell is in the conversation for the biggest NFL draft bust of all time, primarily thanks to the hype he generated as a rare size strength combo at the quarterback position. Thanks in part to a training camp holdout this carried into the season, he started only 1 game during his rookie year with the Raiders. The team dumped him in 2010 after 25 starts in 3 seasons, a record of 7-18, and Russell was never again saw on the field. Now, Jamarcus Russell had a lot of off-the-field issues. They talked about the contract thing. It was talks about him eating too much and just him not having a love for the game of football. And again, this is a very, very sad situation, because if you look at his college highlights and his college stuff, the guy was amazing in LSU, and you really thought this was the next big thing at the quarterback position, but it was never the case for Mr. Russell. So yeah, man, there you have it. Let me know what you guys think about this video in the comment section down below. As always, it's me, your boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm out. Peace.